Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's good? It's the Boxing Source checking in, and I wanted to talk about this recent news that has been breaking within the past hour in reference to the fight coming up between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn Saturday, October 8th, over in London. It looks like news has been circulating that Conor Benn has been tested positive for a substance. The substance is Clomiphene, and Clomiphene is usually used to reduce the level of fertility, whether it's in men or in women. But in reference to men, what it will do is it'll also increase the level of testosterone within the body. So they are pretty much saying that that particular substance either could be used or could not be used in this particular instance. But from recent reports, it looks like the fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn is still on. Now, this was first reported or first circulated out by Mail Sport. That's usually over in the UK, but now, more reports have been coming in reference to that from, ESPN, Boxing Social or Telegraph or whatever, that it may not hinder the fight coming up. It may not hinder the fight coming up. Now, what's interesting is that if y'all have been following the news wire in reference to this particular fight, leading into this fight, you may have heard from Chris Eubank Sr. in reference to this particular fight, and that Chris Eubank Sr. has advised for Chris Eubank Jr. not to go forward with this fight. Of course, because we all know that this is a catchweight fight, as Chris Eubank Sr. has been north of 160 pounds for the majority of his career. So, and Conor Benn has been campaigning at 147 pounds. So with this catchweight, it's pretty much, as you see in boxing, usually it's easier to move up than it is to move down. As a boxer, for example, with Conor Benn, he was campaigning at 147 pounds, but usually you kind of walk at a little bit of a higher weight and then cut down the weight to get to 147 pounds, where in a higher weight, you'll be a little bit bigger than that, or you'll be closer to your quote unquote normal or walk around weight, and then just cut down a little bit just to get to the weight that you need to in order to compete. But with Chris Eubank Jr., since it's going to be at a catch weight that is, a considerable amount less than where he had been campaigning at 160 and 168, that may be, as Chris Eubank Jr. or Sr. says, that he might not have the energy to go forward and perform at an optimal level against Conor Benn. But as of right now, even with that factor, even with Conor Benn being tested positive here, that as of right now, October 8th is still on. So we'll see what happens with this particular bout, and what happens as, the World Anti-Doping Agency had been, testing both fighters, and it seemed that Conor Benn had failed the drug test due to that particular substance being detected within Conor Benn. We'll see what happens. Some people might say, hey, maybe it, helps Conor Benn, bulk up to, the catch weight that they have for this particular fight. I don't know if he's going to be, hulking up, being like Hulk Hogan or something, brother. But we're going to see how this turns out. I hadn't really seen the amount of money that's being paid out for this particular bout. But I guess for some reason, the level of this particular fight just has, England boxing fans buzzing. But in the meantime, you can share your thoughts in reference to this particular news that has been breaking with Conor Benn, and share your thoughts on the fight. We might have a little bit of a preview of the fight later this week, if it still, goes forward. But until then, You can like, subscribe. We really appreciate it. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.